Welcome to the show, Liz. Welcome to Call the Nurse,
I'm so excited. I can't even believe you have a podcast. I can't take
your
it. Done.
favorite nurse, my coach, my mentor, my friend. I'm so excited to have you on here. And to be quite honest, this podcast would not be happening if it wasn't for you. So I am so excited to talk about your journey, how you've inspired not only me, other women. So thank you for coming on to Call the Nurse.
I'm thrilled to be here, and I know you're made for this. So I'm banana town, as I say, excited. Banana town.
I'm excited too, and you always inspire me. I have to let people know that we met because our children decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend when they were 14. And that was quite a journey about 4 years ago. And the fact that we are still friends and close, and we call each other and be like, what the hell are they doing? I really think that really set the foundation for the great friendship that we had. That was wild.
Well, we the great part about that whole thing was we always came at that with absolute neutrality and love for the other person and assuming that I know you love your kid, but I also know you care about my kid. And so I just want to make sure both of our kids are not getting into trouble and that they're not right. So we really handled that. That was a model kind of parent to parent, kids who are dating at a, kind of a young age. We did a great job handling that. I'm just going to say we did.
I think we did too. And I think in a world where we see parents going in on, well, my kid didn't, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But I also think we've transformed that into being, at least for me, being in Warrior Women, this community you've created. It's very similar to where we have this amazing crew of women that we are able to be open with, non-judgmental, no jealousy, which is really not what the world is kind of teaching right now. So I'd love to hear from you because I know for me, when I heard about you, we were friends, but you would post these things online and I'd be like, what is she doing over there? Like transforming and, building your dream life and midlife. And what inspired you to create this Warrior Women community and why focus on midlife women? It wasn't men and it wasn't just all ages. There was something about midlife that really inspired you. I'm curious why that struck with you.
Yeah, I think it's because at 49, I thought my life was basically over. I hit a kind of a wall, all the things, all the little things I used to like to do or ways I was getting through the day, whether it was wine or mom's nights or just being busy all the time. I was I was feeling frustrated. I was feeling frustrated with my marriage. I was feeling frustrated with my kids. I was feeling like my life didn't have a lot of meaning. And I was just feeling numbed out. Like I just felt really low. And I remember watching women turning 50 and they were sneaking into 50. They
Mm.
weren't celebrating it. They were like
Right.
hiding that they
Dreading it.
were turning, yeah, hiding it, dreading it. And I realized I didn't want to have that happen to me. I was like, and I saw how much regret they had. They'd given up on their dreams. They didn't do the things they wanted to do. And I thought, shit, if I don't get this together, like I'm going to do that too. I'm going to come into 50 like that. So I just had a sort of come to Jesus with myself, like, okay, you're 49, you're a year away from 50. You got to do whatever it takes. You
Mm.
just got to do whatever it takes for you to come into 50 happy. And that one decision led to so many other decisions, but it made me realize that when you are in your 40s and 50s and 60s, the prevailing wisdom is that you're kind of in this midlife crisis, like you're in the downslope of life, whatever the hell they say.
Like it's a negative era in our
It's a
life.
horrible time.
Yeah.
Menopause, your body sucks, your kids go to
Yes.
like it's almost like it's a log flume to hell. Like it sounds horrible. I started realizing, no, this is actually not what this time is for. This time is not a crisis, it's a calling. It's where you can now have enough wisdom, enough experience behind you that you can actually start something new, launch something, start thinking about your legacy. And I would love to say that that's exactly where I went first. Like, oh, I'm just going to leap into my legacy, Mindie. But I had to heal a bunch of things before I could do that. I had to deal with all the trauma that I had experienced. I had to do a lot of work and transform myself so that I could
Right.
build this warrior women community, right? So the healing comes first. The legacy is seen through, I feel like, healing. That was really why it all started. And also, I created the community I didn't have, Mindy. I didn't have
Right.
this group of
Right.
non-judgmental, not gel. I didn't have that group. And I was like, shouldn't we be helping each other?
Sure.
It seems like men are in these little mastermind groups and clubs, and they're always like hiring each other and giving, investing in
Yes.
each other. And I'm like, well,
Yes.
shouldn't we be doing that? Like, why are we against
Right.
each other? It didn't make any sense.
Right.
So I think that was the sort of impetus behind it all.
Well, obviously, it's grown into so many things with, the warrior women community, and we have little sub things in there. And then you speak, it seems like all over the country, inspiring women. You're writing a book. Like, I just feel like at 49, you quit a corporate career, right? You
Yes.
stopped your career?
Yes. I
That's a
worked.
huge leap.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I thought it was. And then I looked back and remembered, wow, you had a clowning and magic business because you took a magic course in the second grade. Your mom made you a clown costume and you had a magic thing and you were making so much money. You had business cards. Like, I have always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, when I was little, I didn't play house, I played business. I like to write a check, make someone pay
Wow.
something. I love transactions. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I think I just didn't think I could do it, right? Like, I had some little ventures that I started and they did fairly well, but I didn't know you could make money in your passion. I thought you had to have a passion and thing you
Sure.
liked, and then you had this way you made money, like a job. I didn't know that your passion could be your job.
Well, that's interesting because I feel like what you've really inspired me to do. I mean, I'm 46, almost 47. I'm a nurse and I love nursing, but there was something still missing. I have a husband who's a surgeon. I felt like I was kind of living in not his shadow, but it's all about, I'm Dr. Entebbe's wife. And I remember in some of our groups, it was like, but why do you have to just be that? Like, start your own thing. I'm like, but I'm 46 and I have this neurodivergent daughter I'm dealing with. I got health things, I got in-laws, and you somehow were able to just instill in me something, a fire that had never been there of like, it's never too late. Like this could be your biggest era. Your midlife era is your biggest era. But one of the things you said about you had to heal your own trauma, had to heal your own, that's something you've really helped so many women go deep down into. And listen, I'm all for therapists. I love my therapist. I've had her for many years. There's something that you do with warrior women and the many groups that you have in speaking. What is it that there's something in you about women healing women? It's not just inspiring them to start podcasts or be a part of this amazing group. There's something inside of you that knew I got to heal something. How do you get to where you inspire women, or how do you what inspires you to do that?
Well, I think,
And how did you know you even needed healing?
well, truthfully, I think we all bury a lot of the things that happen to us, but you can tell you're burying your trauma if you've got, for example, tears stuck in your throat, or you're unable to cry, or you feel like you can't really feel your feelings, like you can't even feel the love, right? Because you've just numbed yourself out. And I just remember thinking, I want to feel alive again. Like, I just don't want to be this numb. I want to be able to love my daughter. I want to be able to love my son. I want to feel the love of my husband. And I wasn't feeling that. And the more research I did on that, the more I saw it was trauma that was kind of blocking all of that because I had just pushed everything and suppressed everything. Because I really, up until really recently, like in the last 6 years or maybe 7 years, I would laugh about what happened to me.
Hmm.
And when I
Wow.
would tell anyone, which
Yeah.
I didn't often,
Right.
or if I did, I would kind of try to downplay it. And I would just get a look like, wait, what? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I almost think I didn't really understand how bad it really was for me. And I wouldn't
Right.
acknowledge it because I just wanted to move on. I just wanted, I'm fine. Everything's good, right? I hate my least favorite F word, fine. And I think through doing this, I do a lot of little girl work. I do rapid transformational therapy. I have many ways I try to access this
Sure.
healing for women. But when I started seeing the pain that my little girl actually went through, And having that kind of communication with her where she was saying to me, and this is in the book too, I'll tell you, Mindy, this is going to blow your mind. I have a conversation with my little girl and I put it in the book.
Oh my gosh,
Is I
I literally have chills right now. Like literally I have chills all over my body.
Yeah, I put it in there because I wanted people to see this is how I live. I wanted to ask her, what did you think about what I was telling people before about what happened to us? What do you think? And she was mad. She was like, you used to laugh about it,
Wow.
right? And then she had me see. One day I was doing a healing and she had me see what it was really like, and it was terrifying. But I needed to remember it so that I would give her the respect and love and care that she deserves. And so
Wow.
now that I do that, I'm able to do anything. I can make as much money as I want. I can have a business. I can go on Instagram and be a complete lunatic. I can go speak to crowds. I can write a book and reveal myself because I feel safe.
Right.
And I think people, when they talk about change happens at the speed of light, it's like, no, change happens at the speed of safety. And I think when you feel unsafe in your body, when your little girl feels unsafe, when you feel unsafe in your life, like you don't have a support team,
Right.
you don't have anybody who's over here supporting you, unconditionally loving you, telling you, oh my God, I'm so thrilled for you really
Yes.
can't do anything.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like I've found this little sweet spot, right? It's like the safety of the community, these healing modalities like rapid transformational therapy and little girl work and limitless and the signature program that I teach. This kind of combination, it's like I've hit on something, and you know it because you've been with me as I've hit on it.
Yes.
I've really hit on a magic combination of this is actually what women can do and how they find their legacy. Because I think
Yes.
every woman wants to feel like there probably is more for me. I know there's more for me. I just don't know what it is, and they don't know how to find it.
Yes. Yeah, I think women feel, at least I know for me, there was something in there of like this can't be it. And I had everything. I mean, everything in the world, but there was still something there. So you're right. I don't think that women really kind of know what that is. And when you're talking and talking about this inner child work, I've experienced it. I've gone through it. Not only has it transformation has been my word for the
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Um, it's transformed me, but it's transformed my relationship with my daughter beyond. That's a whole other episode. I have chills literally as I'm talking about it. Transformed the relationship with my husband. I don't think I would be married right now if it wasn't for the work that I've done with you. And in the hospital we have what's called a code MTP, and it's massive transfusion protocol. And that happens when, this nurse in me gets excited. I hear that. But it's a really bad trauma usually, and someone's bleeding out. And it made me think about when someone's bleeding out, they don't have energy, they don't have anything. They need multiple amounts of blood fast. They need to be saved. And if you don't get that blood, you're going to be weak. You're potentially going to die. And even when our, blood levels even get low for any kind of GI bleed, like in the hospital, you're fatigued, you're just drained.
Yeah.
And I feel what this group with Warrior Women and Limitless and all the different things that we've done together, that's been a massive transfusion for me. It's brought life back to me. It's brought energy. And yet I know with my husband being a surgeon, when there's a code MTP, sometimes he has to come in and amputate because the bleeding is just too bad. And
Mm.
I feel that's something that you have really helped as well. What do I got to amputate in my life? What is not working for me? What is not happening that I need to get rid of that was really squashing um, the dreams that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're like this big blood transfusion in my nurse brain. You bring life not only to me, but it's really brought, with my whole family. And I love that you do Limitless because you are like the epitome of Limitless. So now you're podcast and then you do these groups and you speak. Now you're writing a book. And I know you spoke just now just about the little girl, but why a book? You're doing all these things. Why a book?
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to do? Or what are you hoping it's going to do for other women out there?
Well, I mean, in reality, I have a big goal. I want to heal 1 million women.
Mm,
That actually gets me emotional saying that.
wow. Well, you're on a good track. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're already getting there.
I just feel like I can't work with everyone. I can't be everywhere. I can't be in every town. And I thought, how can I spread this? Because if I had had this work
Mm,
sooner, I don't
yes.
even, it's transformed my marriage. It's transformed. I'm a big fan of marriage. You know that.
Yes.
I'm a fan of
You have an
husbands,
amazing husband too, by the way.
but I'm a fan of husbands. I love when women get into this work and their husbands go, I don't
Wow.
know what you're doing, but I love this. I mean, it's incredible, right? And to see their children, the way it's transformed your daughter, my son, my daughter, it is a ripple effect. And I know that when I heal a woman, I heal a whole community. I heal a whole family,
Generations.
generations. And so I know how powerful it is. So
Mm,
I wanted to write the book. I'm even starting a certification because I want people to be able to teach like what I do in these groups,
yes.
this Wise Women Collective certification. But the book was to reach more people. It was to tell my story and say, look, I I did not have a great childhood. I had a lot of things I had to unravel, right? But I'm here and it's possible. And people have had much harder stories for me. Some people have had easier stories. All of us, though, have gone through trauma of some sort. All of us. You don't get to go through life and have no trauma. That's just not life. And I think the soul's journey is like the soul just wants to like be big and play and, do things and just be
Yes.
alive. And all we want to do is squash it because we just feel like, well, I don't want anyone to know that about me. There's shame around that. And I wanted to just, without shame, without judgment, even of my parents and how they did things, because honestly, I don't think it could have gone another way for how my parents were raised and what they went through. It's just what it is. So it is not a judgment book. It is a book that opens you up to the idea of healing can be done at any time, any minute. All you have to do is choose it. If
Mm,
you just decide, you don't have to be ready because ready isn't a feeling.
right.
You're never going to feel
Never gonna feel
ready.
ready. Like when you're
Never,
kids, am I ready for kids? We're never ready for kids.
never, never. You're not ready for anything. You just have to decide. And once you decide, I'm going to heal myself, it's not a one and done. It's not like, oh, and next week I'm great. Even me writing that book, it was hard to look at my childhood again. It was hard to look at those relationships again. It was hard to see mistakes I made as a mother.
Oh
Hard,
yeah.
hard to look at that.
Oh yeah.
But also another level of healing for me, right? And so I want women to know that if you want to have more meaning, if you want to feel more purpose, if you want to feel alive,
Mm,
the road to that is healing yourself, right? And when you do that, you can find your legacy. So I feel like it's kind of part memoir, but also part workbook. I have exercises in there.
oh wow, I didn't
I've
know
got
that.
all sorts of, I've got meditations in there. I've got all sorts of things.
It's like all of your kind of your groups like all clumped into the book. I feel like you're releasing this like big amazing secret. When does this book come out? Do we have a name yet or you're not announcing it yet?
I don't know the name yet. It's because
Oh,
the problem is that all the title there's too many titles. I love words and I love names. So no, the book has not been named yet, but it is going to be out on May 29th or June 3rd, which is around the time that this podcast will be coming out. So this book, you just have to look for me, Liz Svatek on Amazon. It'll be there when this podcast is out.
well, I can't wait. I'm a fan of everything that you do. I feel like you've made me a better nurse. And I didn't even realize, when I'm in the medical field, I go and I'm helping heal, right? But it's medical. I feel that being in these groups and these amazing women that really have become family to me, I realize I look at patients differently because I think, God, there's another healing that these pills I'm giving you, they're just not, it's not going to work. In my mind, I'm thinking that like this little girl inside of this very sick woman is
Yeah.
making her sick.
Yeah.
And it's been hard for me. And that's why I even started this podcast because I was feeling a little frustrated in the hospital because I give meds and I'm constantly doing things and that's necessary. Absolutely. But for me, I see just this whole other level with people now. when I sit on their beds and talk to them and I look at them eye to eye, I'm seeing that child inside of them. It's not just about the morphine I'm giving them or the heart medication I'm giving them. I really try to bring a whole other level to my nursing now. So it's really made me a better person all around, but really in the hospital and a whole other level of healing that I believe you are going to do. This, million people, I feel like what you've instilled in me, I'm now taking into my patients. And I think that's a whole other realm that is needed, even in the hospital. You're inspiring me right now. Maybe, something's going to go on in the hospital with these patients, more than just medicine, right?
Yeah. But I think that's the brilliance of this is that, every woman in our group is doing something different. Some
Yeah,
people are transforming their marriages. Some people are
yeah,
transforming their families and their blended families. Some people are launching podcasts. Some people are doing TED Talks. Some people are
yeah.
reimagining their businesses and and the way they handle their employees. I think this is the kind of work you can kind of take into any direction, but the ripple effect of it, like you're saying, is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you call the nurse, a lot of people are like, oh, is it a medical show? I'm like, well, in some ways, because I feel like this part of nursing is something that women need, that they don't even realize that they need, just like I didn't when I first connected with you. So you're so inspiring to me. I can't wait for your book. Alon's always like, what is Liz doing? Like, whatever you're doing with Liz, just keep doing it because it has really transformed our family. You're so inspiring to so many people. I appreciate you being on here with me. Like I said, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. You really are one of the most inspiring women I've ever met. What you're doing is so transformational, and I'm so grateful. So thank you. We'll look for your book, and I look forward to all the exciting things you're going to do. And if you need anything, you just call the nurse.
Oh, I will. I will call that nurse.
Yes, I know you will. All right, Liz.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll stop it. I'll pause it for now. We don't.
I have so many people asking me, like, what are you doing? You're different, you have more confidence, you're starting a podcast. It is an obvious difference in my life. And again, Alon is always, whatever you're doing in that group. And I think it's a not a relief, but listen, our husbands don't need us dumping on them all the time, right? So I think this community has been really helpful. But it's so noticeable. So when I tell people, oh, I'm part of this, community, of these warrior women, it's limitless group, it's a lot of, midlife women. They're like, what, but how? Like, what is that? What does that translate to? And
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes for me to describe. I can't describe it. Sometimes, don't you think we speak another language sometimes? We're in our groups, and sometimes I'm like, I can't even describe what we do in these groups. You have crafted this group in a way to where we can talk in ways that really get so deep that none of us really have ever been able to do, and now we feel safe to do it. And
Yeah.
women see an obvious difference in my friends in me.
Yeah. And I think the difference is you're living free.
Mm. When you say free,
Uh-huh.
explain what you mean by that.
Women, if you think about your life, I say it's like almost like picking up rocks, right? So your stepfather says something nasty to you, you pick up that rock and you put it in your jacket. And then your mother says you're not smart enough and you put a rock in your jacket. And then your teacher says it was good, but it could have been better. And you put a rock in your jacket. And before you know, you are walking around with a 300-pound jacket of rocks on. And
Mhm.
you wonder while you're exhausted. This gives me the chills. Your shoulders are bent over.
Oh
You
yeah,
feel
for
like you
sure.
can't take another fucking step. Like you just are exhausted by life. Like you just can't go forward. And everything feels heavy and everything feels hard because of all the things you've been carrying. And then and you've armored up your heart to protect yourself, rightfully so, because a lot of bad stuff has happened and you've had to armor up your heart so you could just get through it all. And when
Yes.
we start removing the armor and we start taking wait, hold on, wait, why am I carrying that rock? That's not my rock. My
Right.
father's saying that to me. That actually says something about him, not me, right?
Yes.
When you start taking those, suddenly you start standing up and then you
Mm,
start looking around and you're like, wait a minute,
mm,
and some of the stuff that we've been taking on as our own personality, when you talked about amputating, right? I think a lot of times what needs to be amputated is an identity. It's an old identity. I'm the
so
good
true.
girl. I'm the one that sacrifices. I'm the
Yes.
one that works all the time. I'm the
Yes.
one, I'm
I'm
the,
the mom. I'm taking care of everybody.
I have to take care of everyone so I can feel safe. Whatever those things are, those identities, once you start to strip that away and say, well, what if there's a new identity of you? What if actually you're actually not supposed to be doing everybody else's spiritual growth homework? What if you're supposed to be doing your homework so that other people can actually do theirs, right? And I think when the more you do this work, you become freer, lighter, more open
So
to
true.
other people's perspectives. I mean, we've
So
even
true.
talked about this in
Yes.
our group alone. We Nobody's voting the same way. Nobody is the same age. Nobody There's people living all different lifestyles and
Yes.
different and
Careers. Yes.
we are over here loving each other.
100%.
What a concept. We are over here going, no, what we're doing is more important, bigger than politics, than race, than money.
Yes.
We are all over here in a complete and total safe, trusted circle of women who is investing their time, energy, and talent in themselves and each other. When you were launching this podcast, when we announced this podcast, when you read I will
Yeah.
never forget it. You read it. You read the thing we had crafted, this about
Thank
your
you.
podcast, and everybody had tears in their eyes, Mindy.
They did. They did.
It
Yeah.
was so incredible because it made me say, we did it. We did it. You and I crafted this thing together. We came up with this thing. And when we read it to them, they said, yes,
They said
that's
she's
it.
made for this. And I'm like, really?
She's made for this, right?
Yeah.
And to have a group like that where you can just almost like a baby deer, you're coming out with your legs there and you
Yes.
don't know how to walk and you're just
Know
like,
what we're doing.
right, like I don't know what I'm doing, but you have this circle of women like a hedge just holding you up, right? Holding it all in.
So true.
And you just feel confident, like maybe I can do this. Like maybe I'm not crazy. Like maybe Liz is not the only one who thinks I'm capable of this, right? And then when you did that, look what happened with your husband, your daughter, right? When people see
Yes.
you going for your dreams, it makes them say, oh my God, maybe I could do that, or maybe I have things I can do that,
Right.
right? That really is,
Yes.
I think, the magic of
Yes.
that freedom, having
I,
that
yes.
freedom.
I just had somebody at work. I was on the floor and one of the nurses came to me because I, put the podcast up and she's in her mid 40s as well. And she just said, wow, you really are inspiring me to like think. She's going to MP school and she's like, here I am getting this degree. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. And you're really inspiring me to really get out of the box and think about what I want to do. And I was like, oh, that was really like exciting. And that really has come from the work that, we've done. But when you said free and explained it, and this makes me emotional because I remember when I started Warrior Women thinking, I feel like I'm drowning right now. My daughter's struggling. She has autism, but emotionally was really going through some things. And I was kind of curled up in a ball a lot. And, my husband doesn't know what to do. He's never experienced this. And my ex-husband, we're great friends. We have a great partnership. We all do, but really no one could do anything. And I remember times I wouldn't even show up at group, right? Or I'd come in and I would be puffy eyes. But I remember you telling me, just show up. Just show up. You don't even have to, say anything, just show up. When I continued, even when I didn't feel like it, or I thought, oh, I need to be spending my money on something else, or when I continued to show up, and when my daughter was at her worst, I'll never forget dropping her off in Utah and thinking, I'm the worst mother ever. How in the world? But then coming back home, getting in our group, which we had every week with the few women that we had, and I just cried. I just cried and got out all my feelings. I would have never dreamed that while my daughter is in Utah doing really incredible work,
Yes.
and the work, it gave really me the space to kind of come in and do this. Had she not gone away for this year, who knows where things would be.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was able to do that, I was brave enough, because to be quite honest, I didn't feel brave enough at the time, but I had such a great support system telling me, you're doing what's best for her.
Yeah.
And I was able to really dive into this work. And then she was diving into the work that she really needed to do. And I'm starting a podcast in the middle
Yeah.
of my daughter being at a residential boarding school. So I would not that woman 2 years ago that's crawled up in her bed, does not want to get up because I'm so devastated. I'm still sad at things that happened, but I feel free.
Yeah.
When you said the word free earlier, I wasn't quite, when you explained it, that's exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
Because it's not my responsibility. I just watched something recently and it was saying how I think as moms, we feel we can't be happy if our kids aren't happy. If
Absolutely.
our kids are struggling, we should be struggling, we should be scrambling. And
Right.
it actually, you've really helped me with this of not getting on this roller coaster with my child. Get a ticket and watch it, but don't jump on it, right?
Do not get on that roller coaster. And anybody would agree, right? When you're having a problem, and I want to put problem in quotes because I actually don't think there are any problems. But when you're
Again,
having
a whole other episode.
when you're having a problem, and or your daughter's having a problem, or someone's having a problem, the what you would think is, well, I have to focus on the problem. I have to focus on this. I don't have time to do a group or heal myself or do any of that.
100%.
I got a problem.
And I don't have time for that.
Right. Which actually makes the problem bigger.
100%.
So when you just focus on the problem and you focus on your daughter and how she's going down and down and down, you actually make it go down further. You bring yourself further into the darkness. You buy a ticket to the roller coaster. You're up, you're down, you're upside down, you're throwing up, whatever you're doing. When you step off that roller coaster and say, hold on,
Yep.
I have to put my oxygen mask on first because
Yeah.
if I don't, if I'm not healed and well and capable, how can I stand in the gap for this child?
Yes.
How can I be
How can I
there
be what
for
she
her?
needs?
Right?
Right.
I can't. If you're so focused on her, so focused on, so you did incredible work as things were absolutely falling apart in your life. I
Falling apart.
said, Mindie, stay here, stay with us, stay with me, stay in this group, stay, stay, stay. And you did. And I knew we would get here, and I knew you didn't believe we would. But the fact that your daughter is graduating as you're releasing this podcast, the fact that your daughter came home from a visit and instead of you saying, I'm scared, my daughter's coming home, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know if we're going to get along, you're saying, I can't wait to have her with me. That was such a nice visit. I mean, Mindie, I
Never
would have
thought.
never, ever believed me if I had told you then.
No,
I
would have never
knew,
believed you.
I knew if you did this work, this would happen. I knew it. And nobody ever believes me. But I tell them, when you heal yourself, you will heal everyone else. You don't need to heal Haley. When you heal you, she will heal. And I think that's the thing people don't get, right? Like they think, no, I gotta put all my money and resources in this child,
Yes.
right? Which you still may need to do, but you
Yeah.
have
It's still there. They both can be true, as you always say. Both can happen.
both can duality both can happen. And I think that's what you did so beautifully, is that you invested in yourself at a time where everybody would say, what are you doing, Mindy? Why would you be doing this group and doing this program? Hello, your daughter. And you actually listened to your heart. You didn't listen to your mind fuckery. You listened to your heart and you took that leap. And this is the result of that.
Yeah.
All of this.
It's so true. It makes me so emotional because 2 years ago, I would have never dreamed that we are where we are. And how I started interacting, instead of Haley coming home and me being all anxious and walking on eggshells, I started interacting with her differently. I
Yep.
started seeing her differently. And now she comes home and knows I'm doing a podcast, and she's telling her friends at at her school, it's not, oh, I hate my mom and she's so strict and whatever. She actually is seeing me do something. And that's really exciting for me. And again, it's the healing that I had to do, and it's the healing that nothing in a hospital or a doctor or anyone else can really do. It's something that you do internally with help, of course, but
Yes.
it's no pill. It's no medicine.
No. You both, I will say you are the medicine.
Yeah, well, I think you're the medicine.
Yeah. Well,
I think
but
as women, we're healing each other. We're healing our inner child. We are healing our families. We're
yes.
healing husbands, and they don't even realize what's happening. That's the really amazing part.
Oh yeah.
Mom
I love
hasn't
when
done this
women,
work.
100%. I remember when our good friend Yvonne said, came to me,
Yes.
I need to change him. He's got to do this. And I said, no, we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to work on you. And lo and behold, this husband was started to do everything she
So
wanted.
true. So true.
And that's what happens when you heal yourself, when you are feeling like a whole, free, healed woman. Your husband is like, what is this
Yes.
hot, sexy
Yes.
woman? What's going on? They feel that freedom too, then they're free, right? So I mean, it's a win-win everywhere, right?
Yes.
There's no losing in this
It
healing.
really is. It's funny. My husband has told me you need to do an episode on your podcast about how women get from their husbands what they're wanting without trying to change them.
Yeah.
And like that is so true because I stopped nagging him on like you're this and you need to do this for me.
Yeah.
I started changing. I started changing the way just like my daughter, I started changing the way I interacted with him. I held boundaries, which was very hard for me to do because I was very fearful. And I felt like when I started rising with these boundaries and just really listening to myself of like, I'm not going to squash this feeling. This doesn't feel good to me. I don't like this decision. I'm going to speak up. He
Yes.
came up right with me.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty. And I'm not, who knows? Not every husband, maybe they won't. I kind of feel like they will.
The
He has
majority will. The majority will.
majority will because they're wanting that side of us. They want us to stop nagging them, right?
Right.
I changed the way I interacted with him and I focused on what was going on inside of me because that's really all I can change anyway. I try to change other people, then I just get very frustrated.
Yes.
But he has really changed and changed the way he's interacted, not only with me, but really everyone. So not only have people noticed a change in me, they've noticed a change in him. Is life perfect? Absolutely not. But I really feel I have the tools now to work through it in a community that really helps me. So again, thank you for not only just being a good friend, you're just always been a good friend, but um, the work you're doing, I think is so important. We have a lot of doctors, nurses that do incredible work. I don't want to take away from that, but what you are doing is a whole other level. So I'm limitless,
Yes,
right?
you are. Yes, you
Yes.
are. You are.
So thank you. And women that really this really hits them. I want them to be able to reach out to you. If someone hears this and thinks, oh my God, like
Yes.
that's me. How do they get in touch with you? How do they find you? Where are you? And where are all the things that they can, try to connect with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, the book will be out, so Liz Svatek on Amazon. But I also will give you. How about I give you a walking meditation? Because I went kicking and screaming into meditation, so I've created a walking meditation because I know women walk. Like I know you do that. So I'll give you my free link to the walking meditation, a little gift for your listeners. They can have that.
Thank you.
And then they can look at my website and all the things, and I'll give you that too, lizswatek.com, because if maybe they want to do a rapid transformational therapy session,
Okay.
maybe they were curious
Amazing.
about Limitless, the signature program. There's many ways we can work together. But I just want to honor you, Mindie. Transformation is your word.
Definitely my word for this year.
That's your word for. I mean, my God, you are the epitome of transformation. And I'm super honored to be on this podcast. You're made for this. So I can't wait to see where this goes.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I hope to do another episode. I think we could do so many on different topics, but
Yeah.
before today, we'll wrap it up. Thank you again, my friend.
Love you.